Hello, welcome to today's video. My name is Jonathan, and today we're going to be talking about 5 ways to improve your writing. Now, a lot of writers like to wait to get their inspiration. They believe in this idea that's the muse, that they're basically waiting to be inspired by something, but inspiration doesn't work like that. They base this concept off of the idea that forcing something is never good. And those are two extremes. One is waiting for the muse, and the other is forcing the muse to show up. I think those are two extremes. We have to find a middle ground. And where is that middle ground? Well, in observing your surroundings. I think one of the greatest ways that I get inspired is through music. I can be listening to just about anything, especially for those that know me. I love music. I'm a huge audiophile, and anytime I have a chance to listen to music, I will. Like whether I'm driving somewhere, or if I have a little bit of downtime here in the house, if I'm cooking, cleaning, whatever, I'm most likely always listening to music. Even when I'm playing some video games, I'll listen to music just to I guess that's just the way I vibe, you know. So sometimes when I'm listening to music, I get ideas and inspiration, and I quickly jot them down in my writing journal that I keep for later, or ideas like that. So I think one of the biggest tips I can give in this regard is always be looking for that inspiration, always be observing your surroundings and paying attention to what people do, what they say, how they act, why they act. It's very important to be absorbing the world as you see it. First, writers. I think the second big tip that I can give you is to find your own space. One of my favorite writing spaces is in a Market Street. I like Market Street because it's open 24 hours a day. It never shuts down, as opposed to like Starbucks or most other coffee shops that shut down around 10 or 11. Market Street stays open past that time, and I like not having that stress of, oh, well, I mean, I'm going to have to stay here a couple more hours and then leave, as opposed to, you know, I can just stay here all night if I need to. It's really that open and that flexible, and I really enjoy that. So find a space that's comfortable for you, a place where you know if you sit down for a couple hours, you'll get a lot of writing done. Like, I can't write in my house very well because I get distracted. I turn on the TV, I turn on my computer, start playing games, or other things come up that just distract me from my actual writing. So it's good to pick a spot where you can continually go to improve your writing. The third tip is write now and edit later. Now, this is really difficult, because especially for us writers, because we have this urge that as soon as we write something, let's just say we finish a chapter, we want to directly go back and start editing it and start rewriting it, and that's just not the best way to go about your writing, because you're never going to actually finish. You're going to continue editing this one chapter, and let's just say the plot changes a little bit further on the road, or further up the road of the book, and you have to rewrite that chapter that you've already spent weeks on, and you basically have to throw all that work away. It's not going to be the best thing you've ever written, but you're also not going to send it straight to the editor as soon as it's done being written. So continue writing, trudge through. It's going to be difficult, but trust me, it's the best thing to do. Like right now, I'm writing through Aberwall, and there's already some things that I want to change. There's already some plots that I want to fix. So what I do, instead of going back and doing it now, I'm putting it in my journal and saying, remember, I need to change this, blah, blah, blah. And I'll continue writing so that when I'm done, I can go back to the journal and say, okay, I remember this, I need to change. Then I go back and change it once the story is finished. This fourth tip is kind of a difficult one, because it's really important after you're done writing your work. And it's read your work out loud. Now, this is very important because not only does it nail down tone, it also makes the voice fluid. Because, I mean, for example, I am right now editing The Twin Princes. By the way, The Twin Princes is a sequel to Knights Without Kings, and the whole purpose of this video series is to promote that. So if you're interested in dark fantasy, if you're interested in character-driven narrative, go over to my Amazon, and you can check it out by clicking on the link below. Anyways, Twin Princes is a sequel to that book, and the way I'm editing it right now is I'm reading the entire book out loud to flesh out those mistakes, to make sure to fine-tune the voice, just to make sure that this is what I want it to sound like, what I want it to feel like when I read it, or when people read it. And yes, it feels silly because your intonations, and it just feels weird to do that, but trust me, I can already tell there's a big improvement in the text as opposed to Knights Without Kings, which I didn't do it that much. So I can already tell there's an improvement there. So I definitely recommend doing that. And the fifth point is to just write. Now, a lot of writers will tell you any writing is good writing, but I don't agree with that. I think it just depends on your goal. If your goal is to be a published author, but you're writing D&D side stories, you're never going to get your book published. You're wasting time. Now, if your goal is just to write D&D stories, and the only reason I bring this up is because I've got a friend that does that, and he writes a lot. And I told him before he could already written a book before, but it's just not his goal. And if it's not your goal to do that, that's perfectly fine. But just make sure to focus on what you want to accomplish and go for it. Be driven to do that what you want to accomplish. So for me, even though sometimes I will start a new project and I'll write the first few pages and I'll probably drop it and then go back to one of the works that I'm doing just so that I can continue fueling the efforts there. Well, there we go. Those are just 5 tips that I can give that will help you to improve your writing. Let me know if you enjoyed it. Maybe you have other suggestions that you can improve your writing. So let me know down below. Also follow me on Instagram. I'm going to have a link down below, and Facebook. You have an excellent week, and be careful out there, okay? There's a lot of crazies running about, so keep your wits about you, mind your own business, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
This is it. There are so many things I wanted to tell you.